Hello! So today I wanted to share a Cheryl Blossom inspired makeup look from the show Riverdale. Riverdale came back on the CW I think last Wednesday, and I absolutely love her makeup, her style, her attitude issues. I think she's kind of a kick-ass character, and I really loved her makeup because it sort of is fall to me, but without kind of the trendier colors that we've been seeing everywhere, kind of the cranberries and the reds, which I love, but I think are less wearable for people in traditional jobs like me. I work a 9 to 5 and I don't always have the time to do makeup like Instagram makeup, all blended out and everything. So I thought this would be kind of a nice fall-ish look, but something that's still easy to do, basic colors, kind of neutral on the eye, and obviously you could change the lip if you had to. But yeah, so if you're interested in seeing how I created this look, stay tuned. Okay, so for my first step, I'm just going to be using my everyday primer, which is the Hangover Primer by Too Faced. I really like this one because it's super moisturizing and hydrating, and I was told in the store that, well, it says on it too as well, it's probiotic. So I actually feel like my skin feels better after I use it. Like, it's more than just a primer, it feels like it's a treatment as well. So I love that. I use that pretty much every day, and it smells really nice, like coconut. And then I'm just going to go straight into my foundation. My everyday foundation is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. I use the shade Light Sand. I do want to say, if you were doing this as like a makeup, like a Halloween makeup look or something like that, she is very pale, and I would definitely go, if you're not already pale, several shades lighter. But since I'm just kind of drawing inspiration from it for fun, I thought I would just use my regular foundation shade. Plus, since I went through and got rid of a lot of my makeup recently, I don't actually have that many lighter shades. I used to have like tons of them because I'm a variety of pale shades in the winter, but I don't have any right now, so I'm gonna have to get new ones. So I'm using the new Real Techniques Blur and Blend Brush. I just tried these out for the first time earlier today, which is in a vlog that should already be posted when this goes up, and I think I really like them. It's kind of a cool idea. I know they're like dupes of the Artiste brushes, but they're really easy to use, and as far as I can tell, they blend really well, and it makes like blending so fast and quick. I don't have the foundation one. I have the biggest one, which actually worked fine on my face, so I don't see any problems with it. I might get the foundation size one just to kind of see, but I liked this a lot, so I'm gonna just go in with that. I love this foundation. I don't like this dropper thing. It's just so messy, especially since the foundation is water-based and so liquidy. I don't feel like it's the best way to apply it, but I'm just gonna take this and kind of dab it all over one half of my face and start with that. I'm also using the viewfinder as a mirror, so hopefully I'll get this right. I'm gonna have to use a real mirror. This happened last time too. But yeah, I'm just gonna blend this in. I don't know if you're supposed to use like circular motions or what, but I've just been kind of using sweeping motions, and that seems to be getting the job done okay. This foundation in general, I tend to have to go over some spots more than once, especially places that I have redness. These brushes I think are really good. Kind of fun to use. Next, I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape in Light, and this is just kind of my everyday favorite concealer. I love this one. I think that's a pretty popular opinion. And I'm just going to conceal under my eyes and here a little bit. And I tend to bring my under eye concealer down a little bit lower because that's sort of what I use to combat some of that redness. So I'm just going to blend that in. So now that that's all in place, I'm just going to take a little bit of setting powder and set under my eyes. I don't love this powder. It's the NYX HD Finishing Powder. It's the pressed one. But right now I'm kind of in between setting powder, because I got rid of the one that I was using before. So I'm just going to use this to kind of set everything into place. and I focused it obviously under my eyes to brighten them up a little bit. And now I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I'm using the Tarte Rich Brown Amazonian Clay. It's the waterproof brow mousse. Her eyebrows are pretty straight, I've noticed. I'm just gonna fill in mine like I regularly do because it is sort of just taking inspiration from her look, and I'm not really looking to do anything crazy with my brows. And she has a lot thinner brows than me, so I'm just gonna have to work with what I got. So I find that this works really well for this look too, because her brows are pretty natural looking. So she doesn't do like the whole Instagram brow with like the, or her makeup artist doesn't do the Instagram brow with like the, you know, highlight underneath, carving it out or anything like that. It's super natural, kind of everyday, and that's how I do my brows 99% of the time, because I just don't have time to really carve them out and I really need to get them done. So yeah, I'm just gonna just keep this kind of natural shape, and I'm gonna use this one in the Tarte Clay Play palette, which is Dunes, to just set what I've done in place. Okay, so that is my brows done. Pretty simple, pretty basic. You could obviously do something closer to what she has on the show, but I like keeping just that kind of natural vibe and not worrying about it too much. The next thing that I'm gonna do is her eyeshadow. So a big thing I've noticed is they create kind of a cat eye shape from her crease going all the way down here, and that's kind of, she doesn't wear it seems to only be like one color. It's not like a lot of eyeshadow, but it creates a really distinct kind of dramatic shape, so that's kind of what I'm gonna go for. So I'm gonna take the Tarte Clay Play palette, and this is a brush from Urban Decay, and I'm gonna take the shade Sand, which is this one here, and just put that all over my lids as a base. And then I'm gonna take the other end of this brush, which is like a pencil, I don't know how well you can see that, pencil tip, and I'm gonna take the shade Dunes, which I also used on my eyebrows, and I'm gonna create kind of a shape in my well, I'm gonna start with my my lash line actually, and I'm gonna go down here to create kind of a cat eye effect. And this is all obviously gonna get very blended out. And then using this as kind of a guide, I'm gonna take it into my crease and connect it with the end of that. I have an image that I'm working off of, which I'll insert here so you can kind of understand what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go in with a slightly darker shade just to define it a little bit more. I wish I had a thinner brush, but I'm going to use, I guess, Smoke, which is just below, and I'm going to use a really little bit of this just to kind of give it a little bit of an edge. I'm going to create kind of a V there. She does have, like, not eyeliner, but kind of eyeshadow lining her eye, which I'm going to do next. So I'm not going to make the crease too dark, but I just kind of want to create this like edge and shape. So my next step is going to be to take that same Smoke color on an angled brush and use that to kind of line my eyes. Kind of just giving more shape and definition to my eye there. Her eye makeup is really minimal, and what I notice most is her eyelashes. I'm not going to wear falsies, but I think that's a big part of it. So I think if you wanted to play up the eyeshadow a little more by adding or the eye look a little more by maybe using a black liquid liner, that would also look really great. But it seems from the picture that I'm looking at and taking inspiration from that it's a lighter brown, maybe an eyeshadow, something softer. So it's still giving her a defined shape, but it's not as harsh because those lashes really come in and are like, bam. And I'm actually going to use this eyeshadow to kind of wing it out at the end. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing to this eye and I'll be right back. Okay, so after looking at my reference photo a little bit closer, I decided to take just a little bit more of that darker smoke shade from this palette and just kind of deepen up even a little more kind of underneath in the outer corner. Just because I'm taking inspiration from this photo, but I'm also kind of doing my own thing, but I do want it to still have some of the drama that her look has, which I feel like is a subtle drama. So yeah, I'm just going to make it a little bit darker, a little bit deeper, and then that's pretty much it for the eyes. My next step is going to be my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. I just started using this, but I really like it. So I'm just gonna use curl my eyelashes and put this on. Again, I think she wears fake lashes, I'm like pretty sure, and her eyelashes are really dramatic and look awesome, but I don't have fake eyelashes that I'm using right now. So I'm just gonna kind of, plus for everyday wear, I can't. I want to, but I can't. So I'm just gonna do it kind of how I would more normally do it, so just a lot of mascara. Pretty simple, pretty basic, not exactly her makeup, but similar color scheme, similar shape, and something I think that's pretty easy to do on an everyday basis, but kind of still gives you that badass Cheryl Blossom kind of vibe. So now I'm going to do a little bit of contouring slash bronzing. She is obviously very pale, so not very bronzed, but she does have a bit of contour. I always in my head also imagine that she wears a lot of blush, but if you actually look at pictures of her or are paying attention to that on the show, she doesn't really. It's some sort of thing I imagine. So I'm going to use a little bit of blush, but I'm going to start first with a little bit of contour. I'm going to use the Clay Play palette again because I love this palette. I can use it for like, you can do so many looks with just this. So I'm going to use the desert color to kind of create a contour. And I'm using one of the blend and blur brushes from Real Technique. This is the other one that I got and I really like it. So I'm just going to take a little on my brush. It does pack a punch because it is so densely packed, the bristles. So try not to put too much on. If you were doing this as like a Halloween look, like I've said before, I wouldn't bronze just because she doesn't, but since again, this is just more of inspiration, everyday look, I'm definitely going to bronze. So I'm going to use the terracotta shade in this same palette and just give myself a little warmth. Okay, and next blush. And like I said, she's not as blushed as I thought. So I'm going to use more of a natural one. This is the Tarte Insightful. It's one of the, do they have more than one kind of blush? This is the Amazonian Clay 12-Hour blush. And I'm just going to take a little and just give myself some color. But again, not too much. Another thing I noticed is that she doesn't really seem to wear a very strong highlight. So I'm going to take my Anastasia Glow Kit in Sun Dipped, and I am going to use the Moonstone shade. It's more of a flesh toned as opposed to being like a really bright one, and I'm going to take it just really lightly on my cheeks and down the bridge of the nose just because I prefer a little more glow in my look, but I've noticed that she's not very glowy, so might be something to take into consideration if you want to match her look more closely. And the final step, I think the step that makes it a Cheryl Blossom makeup look, the thing that you would recognize even without looking at close-up photos of her, would be the red lip. And I decided to try out, I've never tried these before, it's the NYX Slip Tease. So it's a lip oil, but it dries to a soft matte. And her red lips are usually not fully matte. I would say they're a soft matte, a satin matte. They have a little bit of sheen to them. So I thought this might be interesting. It's like very red and it is a little difficult to apply. I tried it yesterday and it is slippery, but it's a really pretty color and I like the wand a lot as well. So I'm gonna put that on and finish this up. It feels like nothing on your lips. It's so weird. It's so colorful, but is like light as anything. It is hard to put on, I will say that. Okay, so finishing step would obviously be some sort of setting spray. I'm using the Pixie Glow. Actually, I'm not going to use the Pixie Glow Mist because that's not really what I'm going for. I think I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter because the Glow Mist actually does give me a nice glow, and that's not really the vibe I'm going for. So I'm just going to put this on. And yeah, that's it. So this is my Cheryl Blossom inspired makeup look. Again, not an exact recreation, but kind of using images of her to create something that I think is like fun and a little fall and festive, but is a little more neutral and could obviously be worn with a different lip color if for some reason you couldn't wear this or didn't want to. So yeah, I think it turned out super cute, and I definitely think I might wear this to work tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching. As always, check me out on my blog, which will be linked down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!